Introducing CodeIgniter Wizard 2.0. The next generation of the popular PHP web application code generation tool now comes with user authentication and authorization, language localization, file uploads, and more. For the purposes of this demo, let's start by revisiting our MySQL database called countries, cities, and people that contains 3 tables joined using foreign keys. Now I'll connect to this database from CodeIgniter Wizard, and then start creating a new web application project based on this DB schema. After I click Save and Reset Up Web App Config button, files for localization will be added to the project. Also, additional database tables for authentication and authorization will be created. Languages I can use were already defined in the Global Languages and Translation Template section of CodeIgniter Wizard. You can find more information about localization and internationalization in another video or the documentation of CodeIgniter Wizard. Now we see additional tables here for users, groups, and permissions, because I have set up the Auth framework. I'll configure the options for the people module, which will determine the behavior of the CRUD functionality, also the authorization setting. Speaking of authorization, there are 3 basic authorization options: everyone, anyone logged in, or users that belong to a special group in the database such as administrators. Now I'll enter some static options for the gender field after changing it into form input radio buttons. The city drop-down select Control, 3 rows below, pulls its options from the cities table. CodeIgniter Wizard automatically established the many cities to one-person relationship thanks to the foreign key defined for the city ID field in the people table on the database. Now I'll allow HTML in the notes field so that CodeIgniter Wizard will not strip HTML tags after form submissions. And next, I will turn the photo field into a fully functional file upload control that will thoroughly handle images and HTTP post requests from this form. As you can see, there are some other input types which can be used for having the end user enter numeric values using a slider control on the form. Finally, I will rename the label of the enabled checkbox as active, and then finish up by clicking Generate Code and Close. This action not only generated the People module, but also automatically generated other modules, namely countries and cities, because each associated table had foreign key relationships as you saw in the beginning of this video. I can still fine-tune the settings of each module by optimizing their options. For example, I will add inline form validation feedback, AJAX-based form submissions, ability to export data to CSV, Excel and PDF files, and authorization constraints so as to limit access to admins only. Now I'll publish all modules and the sidebar, and then move on to starting the PHP web server, which had previously been set up using Homebrew. This way I can run the command php spark serve to launch the published web application listening for connections at localhost:8080. Finally, it's time we visited the generated web application on this local host using a cross-platform web browser. When I click Countries to start with, I'm taken to a login page, since I had set the required access privilege to admins only. After entering the required credentials, I get back to the application dashboard page, this time in an admin session. I'll dismiss this welcome message, and now I can access the country list, which in this case is a dynamically displayed data table with pagination and lazy loading AJAX calls. Inline form validation feedback is another feature that comes with version 2.0 of CodeIgniter Wizard. Now let's display all the countries and export the list as an Excel file. Next, I'll browse the Cities module, which contains over 4,000 records. Again, with lazy loading in place, database call response time is fairly optimal. Now I'll look up the fictional Gotham City here and demonstrate deleting its record. Then I will add it again by creating a new record and manually entering the same information. This concludes my demo of the Cities module. Finally, the People module, which has various field types, not just text, but also dates and decimal numbers, which have been automatically handled well by CodeIgniter Wizard by generating appropriate form field types. Now, how about a demo of how image uploading works in web apps created with CodeIgniter Wizard? We showed the same person data entry forms in our previous demos, but every time leaving out the photo field as a simple text input field. This time, I'll upload an actual photo in it and show you a couple of tricks CodeIgniter Wizard put in it. Now this image I'm about to upload has an extremely large resolution, which is 2560 by 1440 pixels. This is a typical example of an ordinary end user who knows little about image and file sizes and resolutions, ending up uploading a huge image on web forms. If you noticed how I configured the file upload in the options of the related field in CodeIgniter Wizard's module editor, the generated code is programmed to reduce the size of the image to 256 by 256 pixels after the form is submitted and the file uploading is complete. This concludes this brief demo to get you acquainted with some of the new features of CodeIgniter Wizard 2.0. If you liked this demonstration and would like to support us, like this video, subscribe to our channel and leave a comment. That would help us a lot.
For more information, please visit www.OZAR.net.